Yo, this ain't gonna take long, but somebody just left a link, a a community tab, and they posted the Undead Chronics video of him talking about this video. So apparently, the media, they're gonna come out with this TV show of this Asian woman lusting after white men. Basically, that's what the TV show gonna be about. And I'm like, really? Wow. They actually got the nerve to do it. But it's not surprising. So my little short rant is not even about that. It's about a couple of the talking points that Undead Chronic made in this video. He's talking about how it's being called controversy. And I gotta give a shout out to Mr. Z, because yo, I like when he calling out these white dudes about the bullshit when it comes to these women of color, bro. Like, some of these white dudes, they're acting like they don't know what's up. You know why it's controversy, dude. You know. Dude, y'all know white men have access to all women of color, black women, Asian women, Latino women, indigenous women, probably Middle Eastern women. Dude, these women of color, there's a reason why some of them date you, and they view you in a certain light compared to other men of color, because of all the colonizing and how y'all on top of the food chain in the West, and then the media hyping you guys up, and then that gets projected in these different countries and cultures on the global level, and then how they feel about fair skin and darker skin, how fair skin is considered having a higher stature in the social society, higher social status, you know. So when you're on top of the food chain like that, and these women, they gon' flock to you, because you guys are seen and viewed as, perceived as number one on top. The resources, social status, seen as being the top tier men. Power. You know what it is, dude. Like, I don't understand why Undead Chronic is he's trying to pretend like, why is it called controversy? You know why it's called controversy, dude. There's a reason why there's a term called JBW, which y'all created. Y'all know what it is. White men know what it is. And then he tried to shit on white women by saying, well, I'm not trying to cape for white women, but I just gotta call it out. He's talking about, oh, it's seen as controversy if they're saying that Asian women want white men, right? But at the same time, it's not seen as controversy when they're showing white women with black guys, Latino guys, and Asian guys. First of all, it's like, what you expect? You think that all white women is just supposed to just get with white men only? Just, they're gonna show, like the media, they're gonna show a sprinkle of white women with brothers, with spicy brothers and some of our yellow brothers. They're gonna show some of them with them, but for the most part, yo, a lot of these white women in the media, in these movies, these TV shows, they were white men. Especially the attractive ones, the really attractive ones, they were white men for the most part. As a matter of fact, every time you turn on the TV, you see white men with black women, right? In these commercials. Even Asian women, you see white men with Asian women in these commercials, in these TV shows, and in these movies. And I'm starting to see a new height of Latino women in these TV shows, even in these movies, and in these movie promotions with white men. They're doing the whole race swap thing with Latino women and then pairing them with white men as well. I'm starting to notice. I've seen a couple of TV shows here and there with Indian women with white men, including that TV show Nancy Drew. That show, what's his name again? What's the dude's name? Ace. That show Ace with this Indian chick, it didn't work out. Now he's with a black chick, some black ghosts on there, but it's not that it didn't work out. They figured out how she died, and then she she moved on. She passed on to the next life after that. And then him and Nancy Drew had some flame going on at one point prior to this last season. And it showed them being intimate. Ned, they showed Ned with Nancy Drew first, but it didn't work out. They decided to be friends. They had Ned, the black dude, they had him with Georgie, and in Georgie, she was a broken Asian chick. She was damaged goods, and she was white dude's jump off. So they gave Ned Brad sloppy seconds. And that relationship didn't even last. It got broken up by the writers for no reason at all, but it is what it is. But you guys are acting like the media don't show you as the top tier guy, it's the most desirable guy, the family art man, and a businessman, a man who got wealth, power, social proof. Oh, he's the action-packed hero. It's a lot of action-packed white male actors like Bruce Willis, Sylvester Stallone, and other guys who did a lot of these famous movie franchise like Flash Gordon. What else? The Die Hard, the Rocky movies, Conan the Barbarian, Hercules, all these movies. Arnold Schwarzenegger on the Terminator and other movies. Look at Lethal Weapon. On Mel Gibson, they always showed him as like the badass. He was the fan favorite character. He had the charisma. He was badass. Even in the comic books, show a lot of these white guys getting with women, a bunch of women. These comic books, these comic book TV shows, these comic book movies, these adventure movies, science sci-fi movies like Star Trek, the captain with the blonde hair, getting all these women, all these alien women as well, getting all the ass. Let's not forget Little Showdown Little Tokyo, which is a freaking classic. But notice how it was the white cop and Asian cop in the movie. They was like the main characters. Notice how the white dude was seen as more masculine. He was strong, tall, big, chiseled, jawline. He had all the respect in the Asian community. He was getting all the Asian pussy. This, that, and the third, right? He was basically like the white savior in Asian culture. And there's a few movies where they do that shit in Hollywood since back in the day into modern times. They have like a white savior movie, a white savior type of character in an Asian movie. They do it in the black movies too, and the Native American / indigenous movies and TV shows. I remember watching these Western TV shows, and I would peep that they would have like the white male character being like a white savior to a tribe, like a Native American tribe and shit. So I don't like how Undead Chronic is being disingenuous. You know how Asian dudes feel about this shit. Really, even other groups of men who might feel some type of way about that shit. Cause some dudes feel like, hey, like they only want to give dudes like Undead Chronic, white dudes, the time of day. Ain't even gonna lie, I at some point I was feeling that way too, but I quickly got over it. I really don't give a fuck anymore. It's like a whole globe of women. We got a whole globe to explore. I'm not tripping on one group of women. And it's not even like that in other places in the globe. It's mainly like that in America. I heard the same thing in the UK, and I'm hearing it's to a degree, it's kind of like that in Australia with these women of color in general, but not to the extent of America in the UK. I just had an issue about what Undead Chronic was talking about, and then he tried to say that Asian guys coming inside the comments talking about how they get white women, and he said, "Good luck, and you might want to make sure you get tested because white women are nasty." This, that, and the third. Again, I'm not caping for white women, but I'm just saying, dude, he's only saying that because white women tend to give dudes time of day, men of color time of day, and this is why I'm talking about the racial digs that this dude be doing. And then I made a video talking about how Red Pill brothers look silly trying to play Batman and Robin with these brads out here. Shout out to anonymous commentator. He called us out. He really called us out. Like, Brad is not on your side. Some of these dudes walking around here with this entitlement issues, thinking that all the women belongs to them. This is why these guys literally think that all the women belong to them. All white women should just go for them and not get other dudes time of day, including other groups of women. And basically, this is it. This is all I had to say, dude. Shout out to Mr. Z, because he was on point about that call out. Like how some of these white dudes are trying to pretend like they don't know what it is when it comes to these women of color. And then the racial digs. I just wasn't feeling that. This TV show that's coming, I don't give a fuck about this TV show. It is what it is. I mean, something like this was eventually gonna come out. You gotta understand that the media and social media is, to a degree, it's a reflection of the real world. So something like this was bound to happen, like this whole white fever shit. You didn't think that someone was gonna come up with a TV show about it? And look at the pandemic on COVID-19. There was low-key a TV show about that. I think it was called Contagious or something like that. I don't know if y'all familiar with the Vampire Diaries series, but there was a brother who was on one of the last seasons of Vampire Diaries. I think he might have been like the season before the last season, but his name was Dorian. Now he was on the TV show called Originals. No, not Original, but Legacies, which is a spinoff of Vampire Diaries, at least one of them. But because the other spinoff that came out before that one was called The Originals. But Dorian was on, the brother who played the character Dorian, he was on this TV show. And it was kind of like these people, they was in this, it's like a pandemic in this TV show that's very dangerous, and the people trying to find a cure for it and shit. But it was basically a TV show about a pandemic, just like COVID. Like, whatever you think is going on in the real world, whatever issues or topics and shit, just know that Hollywood will probably eventually make a movie about it, or a TV show centered around these concepts, like the TV show Blackish. It was that's a conversation that people on the black side of the internet talk about, like blackness and stuff, black family, maintaining blackness and shit like that. So like Hollywood literally took that concept, right, and made a show called Blackish. So something like this was bound to happen. But I'm out. And I know I say it wasn't going to be short, but it's long. For me, it's long, but I'm out.